I'm here, Corey Talk. This is a professional dealer. And for those out there who think that I'll be making that stuff up, I'm not. There's mechanics in there. Could you please let them know that that mechanic, there's people who can set the deck with the burn cards and all of that?
Yeah.
See? And this is that Texas Card House, so there's no need for him to lie. He's a professional dealer. I just wanted you to know that. Signing out.
Okay, that's not what this video is about. Disclaimer, you shouldn't cheat at card tricking, which is a video on gambling moves. And it's really interesting stuff, so I'll probably end up doing a few videos. This one right here is going to be on cold stacking, which is one of the more practical methods for cheating at cards. Now, well, a quick disclaimer, you shouldn't cheat at cards, obviously. It's dangerous, it's wrong, just an overall bad idea. Okay, that's not what this video is about. This is for demonstration purposes only. Okay, now that being said, I do think that for magicians, it's very appropriate to learn this stuff, because oftentimes when you're out there, you're performing, you're going to get comments like, you know, I would never want to play cards with you, and things of that nature. And that's just a perfect segue into doing some kind of gambling demonstration. And if you do it right, a gambling demo can be a really strong routine. It's very entertaining. You know, it demonstrates a high level of skill. And you can also use it as an opportunity to educate your audience, because I think a lot of people are genuinely curious about the possibilities of cheating, you know, and what the risks are. You know, I know casinos have a lockdown on this thing now, but in home games, you know, if you put someone who can handle a deck of cards in that environment, you know, it's game over. The other guys don't have a chance. So it's good to let people know, you know, what's possible and maybe a few things to look out for so that they can protect themselves. Now, let's get on with the move. So cold stacking is the basic idea is you're locating high value cards and then positioning them in locations so that when the deck is legitimately dealt out, those cards fall to you or to whomever the target is. Okay, and it's called cold stacking because it uses a cold deck, an unprepared deck, just any shuffle deck of cards, and you can do it. So I'll give you just a quick idea of what something like that would look like, and I'll attempt to do some cold stacking here. So keep in mind that cold stacking is not used to give yourself an unbeatable hand. It's only used to give yourself an edge over the opponents. Okay, so more likely than not, you're going to end up having the highest starting hand if you're good at cold stacking. But it does not guarantee a win by any means. So let's say there's 4 people playing. We can just use these props to represent those people. So a few more shuffles maybe. Let's see. And I should have stacked a pretty decent hand. And then I guess a few cuts. Well, you probably wouldn't do a cut like that at the card table. Maybe something like this. All right, so I think it was an ace and a queen, I believe. So there's the ace and there's the queen. That's cold stacking right there. So let's break that down a bit. Before you attempt to learn this, you need to be very comfortable with the tabled riffle shuffle, which is this right here. If you can't shuffle a deck of cards like this yet, I did make a video teaching it, so I'll link to it. So go ahead and learn that, and then you can come back to this video. But you need to be able to do many consecutive riffle shuffles in a row without any hesitation. And then the stacking part comes next. All right, so here's what's happening. In the process of shuffling, you are glimpsing cards, and you're basically scouting for high value. So the way this works is, when you shuffle, if you bend the left-hand cards up enough, you can see the top cards. I guess in the beginning you should just focus on the very top card, just to make it easy. So you're going to glimpse the very top card of the left-hand pack. So in this case it's an 8. I don't really like that. So Sorry for the distraction. Okay, so I don't really like that there. So I'm gonna finish the shuffle and I cut that to the right. So now I have a brand new card on the left hand side that I can glimpse. It's a 3, I don't like it. Now keep in mind that when I'm shuffling, this is exaggerated. You would never shuffle this high. I'm just doing that so that the camera can see. Normally it would be something like this. But you get the idea. So it's a 5, I don't like it. Now, it's kind of a luck. It's kind of a lucky, and there's a queen. Sometimes you're going to hit high value cards very quickly, and then other times it's going to take 5, 6, 7 shuffles. But if you're good at riffle shuffling and you can do a lot of them in a row, then no matter what, you should be able to get a strong hand in a decent amount of time. So there's a queen. I like that queen. I want to keep that. So I finish the shuffle, and I do the same thing again. There's a 9, I don't really like it. You want to make sure that you shuffle that queen back to the top. You want to preserve that there. Okay, so you keep going until you hit one other high card. There's a king, I like it. Alright, so you finish the shuffle, making sure that you have both high value cards on top. Okay? Once you've done that, now comes the actual stacking part of the move. So now what we need to do is get those cards in the position so that when the cards are dealt out, they fall to whomever you're trying to get them to. For this first demonstration, let's say I want to get them to fall to me, and there's 4 people playing. So the way that I would do that is, again, you do it in the process of shuffling. So you shuffle, and you want to finish off your right hand cards first, but you're going to hang on to 3 cards. Okay, then you finish the left hand shuffle, but you hang on to 1 card. Then you deposit those 3 cards in between, and then you finish the shuffle. So you're putting 3 random indifferent cards in between the 2 value cards. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is same thing again. You finish the right hand side first, but you hang on to 3 cards. Then you deposit all 3 on top. Okay, and you want to make sure that you don't disturb your top card stock, because that's your stack right there. So you need to, it's like a 5, or it's a 5 card block, but you might want to go more just to be safe. This is exaggerated. That's too much of a block, but you get the point. Okay, and then you finish the shuffle. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It does require a bit of a sense of the touch to hang on to a particular amount of cards. 3 cards isn't bad, but as you increase the number of players, let's say you're playing with 5, 6 players, then you need to start holding, or you need to start holding back stacks of 4 cards, 5 cards. And then, that's where the practice comes in. But in this case, I did it for 4 players, so now if I deal the cards out, those high value cards are going to land to me. Okay, now when you do this stacking process,
What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, people? Hope everybody's in the best of health out there. And as you can see in the beginning of the video, I wanted to show every last one of you players and people who view my posts on YouTube that this is straight from professional dealers who knows how this goes. And then thanks to another viewer who sent me a video about how you can co-stack the deck and how you can set the deck, and the fact that this person is able to show you from the way he shuffles and he does the layers and the way he flaps it down, how he can deal anybody on the table any set of cards. Now this is the inner workings of how the mechanics and the cheating goes. So basically, it gives the players the edge. So if you're at the casino, and you know you're at like different poker establishments where the dealers is in it. Trust me, I just left an establishment a few days ago. I knew the dealer. I already know he's nice with setting the deck, but after learning different ways of how you can stack the deck and rearrange the deck, I definitely see it now. So I was definitely mindful of what's going on. But the fact that, they can give the players that spend the money with them and bring in the money with them, they can give them the edge. It doesn't guarantee the win though. That's just it. You can get dealt aces twice in a row, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to win the hand, because if somebody else feels like they feel confident that your bet is not high enough to push them off, or they just want to gamble. They like, you know what? That's a high raise. I think I want to take your challenge. And they call you with, a mediocre hand, and they hit. They hit the ball. I watched it. I was at the Texas Car House a few days ago, and this dude got dealt aces back to back. He got dealt aces back to back, and they got cracked twice. And so it happens, you know what I mean? Like the dealers can give you the advantage by giving you the top hand, but it does not mean that you will win the hand ultimately, because the flop, they cannot set the flop. That's the one thing that they cannot do. They cannot rig the flop, the turn, and the river. But with the way they know how to finesse the cards, they can pretty much drive that action in favor of the player that they gave the edge to. But it is ultimately up to the player to outplay the other players. And there's no telling how many players is gonna call your hand. The day before yesterday, I won a really nice pot, and the way this happened was, it was like a bond, something like that, a bond type game where you play two boards and you got that option. And so everybody decided to, put in 5. I raised it to 22, and everybody called. And I didn't see that coming. I had queens. Everybody decided to call. I'm like, all right, everybody gonna call. I see the strategy. It's like if 2-3 people call, everybody gonna call, because they're gonna make it difficult for the person who raised it to win. And then they getting in on the value, because there's all those players that just raised $22. So you got 9 players at the table. You got some nice money right there. You already looking at, 100 and some change going into $200, So everybody calls or whatever. And the flop didn't look good for everybody. The flop came out ace, ace, 5. I had the queens. Everybody checks. Then on the turn, the one dude, he pushes in $100. He got everybody to fold but me. Of course, I ain't gonna fold, because I don't believe you got the ace. But if you do got the ace, then shit, good fucking play. You know what I mean? But I got queens. I'm not letting go of the hand. We're just gonna see if you real or not. So I call his 100. The other dude calls the 100. So now you see there's a huge pot right now. It's like $300-400 in the pot already. The river comes in. Of course, he gonna shove all in. He not even gonna second guess it, because that's the only play you got left to make me believe that you got the aces. I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, you know what I mean? But you know what? It's what we came here for. It's the opportunity. It's Friday the 13th. That's my favorite day. That's my favorite number. I called it. And mind you, it's Friday the 13th, and I'm sitting at table number 13. Yeah, peep the signs. So I called his all in for 100 and I guess it was like $140. I called it. The other guy, he thought about it for a minute. He didn't want to let go. Whatever he had, he didn't want to let go. My impression, I think he probably had pocket jacks or pocket 9s or something like that. And he was wondering, himself, do I have the ace? They always thinking that I had the ace for just calling, but they also was thinking that it's possible this dude got aces too, because he raised. Long story short, dude folds. Dude says, you got the aces? I said, nah, but I got the next best thing. And I flipped over queens, and he folded. So what did he have? He had pocket 10s. So, and that's how it goes. So at the end of the day, you can't determine, like the dealers can't determine the outcome of the hands, but they can give you the edge. And you see it in the video, you see how this dude does it. He shows you he can deal you any kind of card you want. And then I got the opinion from a professional dealer, because he is a professional, and he let it be known, like, you can definitely set the deck with the burn cards. That's a fact. You can definitely set the deck and deal out any player you want, the cards that they want. That's just, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. So at the end of the day, you know, and I want to give appreciation and say thank you to all the people who supported me and those who sent me links to these different videos on how the decks can be set and how you can deal with any player at the table, any cards that you want. Because there's a lot of people, there's a few people, not even a lot, it's just few, maybe one, that has something against me. It always got something smart to say and always trying to discredit, you know, the information and the truth that I put out there for everybody to be aware of what goes on, you know, at these poker establishments and the way they cheat. Because you gotta look at it, it's $1 million business. And there's no way that they're gonna keep it fair all the way down the line. They gotta get the edge some way, somehow. They gotta get the edge, whether the rake is high, you know, or the buy-ins or the fees, or they got business going on with the players. They give the players the best hands, and they know these players are really good at playing these hands. So ultimately, they're gonna win more than they lose more. That's another thing. If you're giving players that are really good at the game, they know the game. They know this game really good, and you constantly giving them the big hands, it's gonna be very difficult for you to beat them. Especially if that board comes out dry, where it's a rainbow and ain't nothing happening. The chances of you winning is not happening. You got a pair of jacks, but he got dealt aces. Or you got a pair of tens, he has kings. Or you got dealt ace king suited, you know, but he's got queens. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how it go. They deal you these type of hands where they know these hands, you're gonna play it. You're a good player, you know this is a really good hand, and you have a chance to double up or win big. But the problem is that the hand they just dealt the dude that's favored to win is better than yours. And when that flop hits and that flop don't got nothing going on, that's it. Now the flop is wet, and you got 2 diamonds that hit that board, and you got a flush draw, you have an opportunity to outplay him, but you must know that he is going to be aggressive. He is going to try to push you off that hand completely, so you have no chances of winning that hand, which is the best option. But sometimes it's unfortunate. That diamond hit, you got the flush, you got ace high flush, there ain't no full house on the board, you know that for a fact. There's nothing he could do about it. So at the end of the day, I just want to let y'all know that, and please, you know, for those who be talking that madness, please, man, just stop. Don't even get on and post. If you want attention, then I understand. It feels like you want attention. You want to get on my post and say something so you look like somebody who, you know, knows what's really going on. But you just look like a fool, and you only giving that much credibility to what I'm saying. Not only that, I ain't just saying it. I have professional poker players, professional dealers, videos. I got all the proof to show you that that's what goes on. Now, you may be the type that don't like that because you got an establishment where you do that funny shit. You got dealers who cheat and rig the deck and give players the edge against other players to bring in more money. You may be a part of that large cheating ass ring. But you gotta realize, man, karma's a bitch. I tell you that right now. For everything you put out there, it comes back to you. And that's why I'm putting this out there, because that's good energy and it comes back to me. You feel what I'm saying? So when I sit down in an establishment, the universe is blessing me for giving the energy and the knowledge and understanding to other players to not get cheated and to know what to look for. So when I get at the table, I get those good luck blessings where even if there is cheating going on, it don't land on my spot. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about, man. Nobody want to... Look, man, we're at a day and age where we're trying to get our hustle on. We're trying to do the things we love. You know what I mean? In the game of competition, it's all about who's the best. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it's going to stand on. That's 10 legs. It's going to stand. That's 10 toes. It's going to stand down on that. Nobody want to hear anything about no cheating. Nobody want to get involved with no cheating shit. Ain't nobody trying to get their money taken. And if you feel like how I feel, you definitely gonna be turned up if you know somebody sitting there trying to cheat you and stealing money from you, stealing all that money from you. You thought you had a chance, but really you was just getting shammed. Like, for real? So at the end of the day, just respect the way this thing goes and be aware and know what's going on. And like I always say, take something from this video and learn something. like, share, subscribe, but most importantly, be careful out there and know what you're getting involved with, and stay safe out there all the way around the board. Moving.